BassResinator here. I have this gigantic sunflower mold, but I also have a beautiful sunflower blooming out in my yard right now. I'm going to try and copy those colors. So what I'm doing is I'm going to do a bloom. If I don't get any more interruptions, I've been trying to get stuff going. I'm using Naked Fusion resin, and there's yellow letsresin yellow dye in this. So instead of a clear, I'm gonna have this yellow as the base, which I think will be kind of cool. But on that picture you saw, hopefully you saw, oh, I hope I have enough for this to work. The center had a greenish tint, so I mixed up in the same with that yellow. I mixed in some bloom paste with light green resin dye from Let's Resin and just a little bit of Arteza holographic green glitter. So I'm going to try and do a bloom, and I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm going to go with a cup. Hopefully I can make this work. This crazy. Maybe I'll do that sideways. This is the green center. The resin has thickened up, has warmed up nicely, so I'm hoping, got just a little bit of that left, that now that will push out into the outer range. And now this is just the yellow with a little bit of the bloom paste and a little bit of gold interference powder to make it shimmery, shiny. So I'm going to go right, wow. I was hoping it'd push it all the way up into those fringes. I keep bumping this tripod. Well, I'm going to go into the center some. I mixed up it's about 400 milliliters or 400 grams, whichever we want to call it. And you know what? I'm going to see if I'm going to end up messing it up. Come on. Try and follow the contours of the mold. I was gonna try, well, I'll put it in with this green because I have more green. Towards the center it got darker, so I'm gonna mix a little bit of the orange resin dye in. Hopefully I'm not just killing this. In my mind, I had it planned out perfectly. Let's see how that goes. Okay, now to draw my petals. And I don't have enough. I thought I had enough to fill this baby up, but I guess not. Okay, on each one of these tips, I'm going to draw it in to the center area. I hope this bloom's neat. Me with blooms, I just sort of put the stuff in and pray it works. If I can recreate what God already did with the flower itself, that would be awesome. Sorry about my hand being in the way. Trying not to touch that mold. Since I still have room left in this mold, I may back it with a dark yellow or something of that sort. Now, with glare right there, in between those little hoops, I'm going to try and draw the green to it out of the center so that it can do a little bit of blooming of itself. I can see something trying to happen. I just hope it's happening like it is in my mind. Got quite a few bubbles that are just begging for me to fix them. I'm doing this very late at night. Actually, it's 1:35 a.m. because my wife's flight was supposed to be coming in now. It had already been delayed, but now it's gotten postponed till tomorrow sometime. So, okay, I'm going to start in the middle, small, go out, catch this orange, and try and bring it back in. Okay, now pop some bubbles time. And get that so that I can some nasty big bubbles every once in a while. Oh, I'm sitting there thinking that's a bubble, and it was that glitter shining. Okay, well, sit and let this go for a while. Clean up these tools over here. Spray a little bit of alcohol on them. I got this little silicone tool from Resin Rockers. It came in a set, and there's a very small one, and then bigger, and different shapes. So on a bigger bloom, I like using this one. On a very small bloom, I will use the little skinny one. Set that tool down there, and got it all nasty sticky. This is the little tiny one, and this is the bigger one that I'm using, and then there's even bigger than that. So kind of cool. If you're needing some silicone tools to work with, look up Resin Rockers. If you look in my description, there's if you click on the link that's there and type in my code, I think you get some money off of your expense. Well, I'm already seeing, oh, what those little thingies are. That is not glitter. Well, there is some stuff happening here. It looks really pretty. There's a big old bubble right there. From whence did you come? You come from down below. First time I did this mold, I really got after it with chameleon powders, to the extent that there was too much and it held bubbles, and so the tips were not quite right. It's blooming, and the orange has started to bloom. I don't know if that orange is going through them very much, but hopefully there'll be a hint of orange there. I can see the gold in this. This is hopefully my sunflower. I was listening to my favorite classical radio station today. It comes out of Dallas, WRR. And it's classical music, and they played my favorite symphony by Brahms, Symphony No. 1 in C minor, and that is just going through my head. It's a good thing, but it's such a pretty piece. If you like classical music and you're not acquainted with that, you might give it a look-see, which is what I'm doing right now, to see if there's any bubbles hiding out. I'm hoping that I poured it slowly enough that it got to all of those things underneath. Blooms are so cool. Okay, I'll let you go for a few more minutes on this as a time lapse. But my batteries are getting low, so don't know how long it'll last. But enjoy. all cured up now. I filled up, had 6 more ounces I put in actually, and I still have a little bit left to go, so this actually probably holds about 24 ounces total. But anyway, I put in resin with Vegas dust from Pigmently. I really like the color of that, and I think it'll accentuate the blossom color on the front. So let's see how well this comes out. I hope the blossom worked. The blossom, the 3D bloom inside of a blossom mold. Anybody else done that? I don't know. I haven't seen anybody, but that doesn't mean it hasn't been done. Okay, so now I see a couple spots where a couple air bubbles happened at the tips of a couple of those. Those can be filled real easily though with some UV resin. Goodness, there's enough petals. One more. There. Okay, what does this look like? Oh my. Not exactly what I have out in the front yard, but this is kind of pretty. I do have to fix those air bubbles though. I don't know if this type of a mold lends to 3D bloom or not, but I did it. I'll take a picture out in the sun after I patch those tips in there. Okay. Thank you, sponsors and followers. If you're not a sponsors, listen to me. Thank you, subscribers. If anybody wants to be a sponsor, that'd be fun too. But if you are not a subscriber, it's free. Sign up. You'll see me do crazy stuff like this, or when I have a little bit of leftover gold, make some little frogs. Yeah, or little Siamese fighting fish, or a little hummingbird. Yeah. So, see what I'm going to do next. You never know.